can know it. If we cannot know, because there are principles of physics and principles of Jainism which do not allow us to know it, how can we know it? So Jainism is the only thing, science doesn't give this option. Jainism says that by omniscience, by practicing omniscience, a omniscient person can know these things because he can operate in one samaya, and one samaya is very small. So that is why it is difficult to stay in one samaya. And I conclude my talk by showing this picture by Manju Nata, which is a bird, these birds don't exist in nature, but the legend says that when Mahavir Swami got enlightenment, that evening when he slept, he dreamt of a strange Vichitra Chidiya. So the feathers and all this, there are 7 types. So for every question, there are 7 answers. Okay? So science will say yes or no. Jainism, that is not close to the correct description of nature. The correct description of nature is that there are 7 options. Any one of them can be correct. It doesn't mean confusion. It doesn't mean that there is doubt in everything, but that is how the nature is. Thank you very much.
Now we invite our next speaker in the session, Mr. Pankaj Seth, who belongs to and is a propounder of the organization called the Science of Divine Living, Mumbai.
Namo Jiranam. The principle of relativity and Jain logic in 7 minutes. Just imagine. The basic constituents of this ecology is well defined, and I have to presume a lot of things, and I presume you know about it. Those 6 constituents of this ecology, 6 dravyas, that is the basic science of Jainism. It starts with how this ecology performs with each other, and that is called this theory of relativity. These 6 dravyas are independent with their own attributes and characteristics. They don't interfere. They have no right to interfere between each other. And they, at the same time, collaborate with each other and support each other. And that is called this theory of relativity. Now, our Dr. Bhandari just now said that science says binary logic and Jainism says Swadhyad logic. I differ here. So Jainism and science. So here, the whole world as on today, Vyavhar Jagat, it works on the principle of binary logic. How it works? One level is Shunyata and one level is Purnata. Buddhism says the goal is Shunyata. Vedanta says, Upanishad says, the goal is Purnata. Consciousness is same, but both differ and both give a different extremist view. But what Jainism says, yes, you both are right, but as if I want to live as a human being or if I want to live as a jiva, I have to have a binary logic. Only thing, the technology has to come in. And what is that technology? It is called digital multiplexing. This digital multiplexing helps you and enables you to perform all the things what you want to do at the same time at the frequency, high frequency level. And you can, whatever you are seeing today in this world with 5 senses is nothing but this digital multiplexing. So, here, how this Jainism, today, when I am an electronic engineer, for me, when I first found out how this binary logic is helpful in our day-to-day life, the whole world is just now operating on all electronic technology. Do you all agree? And this whole technology works on this binary logic. All your smartphones or any digital devices work on this. Can you just believe you can do everything by this binary logic? And so is Jainism talking about the same. And by this, Shunyata and Purnata, if you come in Vyavhar, you have to have at high frequency mix up the things and automatically the results can be there. Now let us come to the basic theme of this seminar or conference, that how does human being achieve peace and happiness from all this jugglery of science and jugglery of Jain philosophy. That is the main theme. And what we end up doing and land up doing is pollution, corruption. What is all these things? Why it is happening? So here, again, Jainism comes in. There are 5 internal environments and 5 external environments. 5 internal environments means basic consciousness, and that consciousness is having its memory immemorial, till it wishes to have it with it. It is its independence in the form of matter, which is called as karma bank. And it is a form of atomic particle which forms the while around that consciousness. And it is that which decides the destiny of the journey of that consciousness, and by which a human being is also guided. But at the same time, human being is the most evolved being on this universe, having independence of deciding what is useful and what is not useful. In the morning session, Muniji talked about Vivek Prajna. And it is here, Vivek and Prajna, how to illuminate scientifically, how to elevate it scientifically. It's possible. Mahavir has shown the path. From, I can give you, it's very small, in a very nutshell, there is a path of in to out, outside world, inner world to outside world. There is inner world, it is called Chitta world. The Chitta is connected with Man and Buddhi. Man and Buddhi, Buddhi is called intellectual faculty. Man is emotional faculty. Man is a data collection center of all the data which is being collected by 5 cameras, which we call it as Indriyas. I call it as cameras. They are just collectors of these atomic particles. They don't even store it. They just transfer this matter particle data to Buddhi, intellect, for decision making. Buddhi doesn't decide on its own. It needs to have past reference on which it takes a decision. And this reference is taken from nowhere but Chitta library. Chit is the place where whatever data we are just now seeing is being coming in, made into files and folders, the way we operate our computer, and being stored in our Chitta library. And here we store all the audio, video, whatever form from these 5 cameras, and it is stored there. Now, this is where we make a big mistake by living as a human being. We don't segregate, and whatever is unnecessary data, we don't delete it. The principle of Pratikaman is the process, scientific process given by Mahavir in today's world. I can bet you, if a science of Pratikaman is followed the way the Mahavir has shown, you can refer us after this seminar. The whole thing is there. If we can scientifically remove, we have the ability to remove all the unwanted data in the form of matter which is unwanted, and we have that capability to do it. Once we start doing cleansing process, we can achieve that Shunya Avastha which Buddha is talking about. But at the same time, we are living in this material and materialistic world, a world full of matter. So, how do we achieve? So, 2 processes Mahavir has shown. One is to get away from all this matter world, and one is to be with all these human beings or all these jiva. These are the 2 processes, and those process is called Bhed Gyan and Abhed Gyan. Through Bhed Gyan, we can get disassociated with all the matter which is not necessary, and with Abhed, we can all get connected with each other, and this is the only way by which a human being can elevate oneself from all the menaces of today's world. The answer is scientific, and if every individual scientifically works on oneself, through three processes. One is called Jatna Marg. Jatna Marg means love, care and share for all jivas, all ajivas. It is not limited only to jivas. I can bet you, you can create miracles and wonders once we start communicating with ajivas also. So that is the process which is shown by Mahavir. He has never restricted only to jivas. Second process is the process of scientific pratikavan, by which we can just get rid of unwanted atoms or unwanted thoughts or unwanted emotions, unwanted, whatever which is unwanted can be removed and should be removed. And if we don't remove, this only becomes our future. There is nothing like future if we are alert, if we are always alert in present. It is only of our inattentiveness of removing this matter world or removing this matter. That's why we are always clobbered with past thought processes and past emotions. Why we are get enclosed with this, all these things? It is because we are not trained. If we are trained as per the principles of Mahavira scientifically, today also all the results, all the solutions are available in the scientific way, the way the Mahavir has shown. And last but not the least, the mantra process. I started with the word Namo Jinanam, and at that same time, I accepted you, I received you all as God. This is the starting point of my relationship with this world. And if I start with this, you are all one and equal for me, and you are all God for me. If we start our vision, this is called Samyak vision, scientific vision. Once I start looking to all of you with this vision, I have no problem with you. And once I have no problem with you, there is nothing which is going to block me or lock me. And this is the path which Mahavir has shown. It's a simple mantra, Namo Jinanam. Just remember this and you will find immediately the whole world is yours. You are part of that world and whole world is yours. But it is our past references of whatever we have stored in our chitta which does not allow it to happen, and in the present our logic which does not allow it to happen, untrained logic which does not allow it to happen. And this is how we always fall in trap. If we want to elevate ourselves and use science of Mahavir as a tool, this is what I am talking is atomic science. I am not talking of philosophy. And so this is, time is out. Namo Jinanam, Jiya Bhayanam, be rest in peace. Namo Jinanam.
And here we have listened to all the three presentations in the session. We can have luxury of some discussion. So I guess one question for each speaker.
I am a hardcore quantum physicist, and what Takar said that quantum physics or modern science doesn't say that he is not able to show that it is not reduced to materialism. Look at Higgs particle, God particle. It was proposed long before, but due to technological development, it took a lot of years, like 30 years or so in CERN, and ultimately they found something in the counter that, well, this is like Higgs particle. Say, suppose to detect electron, you need Geiger-Müller counter. It's not just like something else which can't detect it, but we need different type of instrumentation. Okay, and second one, that is what you are saying, many people like karma, So karma and in Buddhism, especially Yogachar Buddhism, there is a concept or there is a text called Lankavata Sutra. It says concept of alloy vijnana. Like a vacuum which consists of seeds, if we die, my karma goes as a seed and stays there. In physics, we say this is like a quantum vacuum, what he mentioned. Yeah, no. And then Professor Bhandari, what he was saying that in science, the logic is binary. This is not true. if you look at the quantum logic, it's a three-valued logic. And yeah, I mean, the people who are working on Jain logic, they know that there is a new logic comes called paraconsistent logic. And Indian Statistical Institute, Calcutta, 2014, we arranged a World Congress on paraconsistent logic. And there, both Buddhist logic, Jain logic, and quantum logic, they are shown to be paraconsistent logic. And look, no, let me finish it. And look for ambiguity of the figures you mentioned. There is a new generation of experiments in Italy where they showed this ambiguity of figures, they need a kind of quantum logic.
Well, I wasn't sure exactly what the question was, except I think you have some very good information and much more access to the latest knowledge in quantum theory. But from what you said, it sounds to me even more consistent with Jain thought than even what I very modestly proposed today. So I think it's very exciting. The one thing I did mention, or was not able to mention because of the limit of time, but here's my opportunity, and I think your question speaks to this, is that whatever belief system one holds, we need to be very careful not to wed ourselves so much to the current science that if a new development occurs, then our whole worldview is in chaos. So we have various, I love this idea of pramana from the Indian philosophy. There's a purview of science, there's a purview of ethics, there's a purview of metaphysics. What I find exciting about these things like past life memory is that there are these very interesting points of convergence where we might be able to make a true advance in human knowledge.
My question is regarding the memory centers, okay? Now when we talk of memory, there are three stages: consciousness, subconsciousness, unconsciousness. Now I'm talking of the transfer of brain as a whole. So when the brain is transferred, the whole memory center system is also transferred. So what happens when the brain is transferred from X to Y? So whether the Y person remembers about A or Y.
I'm not aware that a brain has ever been successfully transplanted, so I think we would have to see the result if were it to occur.
I am a veterinary physiologist. I know about brain and
Okay.
neurology and neuroscience. You know.
Has this occurred,
And I've
or-
done extensive work.
Right, has this
Okay.
occurred?
So this is what I'm asking. When we talk regarding unconsciousness, when we talk of rebirth,
Right.
the body is transferred in a unconscious state. But when we transfer brain and other organs, we always transfer either in the conscious stage or subconscious stage.
See, my understanding of Jain thought is that the jiva is something completely different from the body or any of its parts. So the